In every life, there comes a moment when transformation is no longer a choice but a necessity. The habits we cultivate shape the very fabric of our existence, determining whether we rise or remain stagnant. True change is not a product of chance. It is the outcome of deliberate action, repeated daily with intention and discipline. These 8 habits hold the power to dismantle old limitations and build a foundation of unstoppable momentum. They forge a mindset that conquers fear, commands respect, and attracts success. Embracing them means stepping into a life where obstacles become stepping stones and dreams evolve into reality. This journey demands courage, commitment, and an unwavering belief that your best self is waiting just beyond the habits you choose to master. Every man who has ever climbed from the depths of despair to the peaks of success began with a clear and definite major purpose. Without purpose, your mind drifts like a ship without a rudder, susceptible to the storms of distraction and the winds of doubt. But once a man fixes his mind upon a definite goal and refuses to deviate from its pursuit, he taps into a power greater than circumstance. Your purpose is the compass by which all decisions are measured. It eliminates confusion and injects precision into your daily actions. You must not merely wish for success, you must know precisely what success looks like for you. A vague desire breeds vague results. A clearly defined purpose gives birth to clear, focused, and determined action. Life will bend in your favor when you no longer operate from uncertainty, but from the certainty of a burning purpose that commands your soul. When you define your definite major purpose, it must set your soul on fire. This is not a half-hearted interest or a passing desire. It is the mission for which you are willing to sacrifice, sweat, and persist. It must be something you believe in so deeply that even in moments of silence, your heart beats for it. A strong purpose transforms the ordinary man into a driven force. It awakens your inner faculties and aligns your subconscious mind to seek out opportunity, create ideas, and destroy excuses. You will find yourself waking with energy, working with urgency, and enduring hardship with patience. The purpose gives your pain meaning and your effort direction. It turns obstacles into teachers, setbacks into strategies, and criticism into fuel. Without it, you will settle. With it, you will soar. Most people never define their purpose because they fear committing to a single path. They want everything, so they achieve nothing. But you must choose. The universe does not reward indecision. When your aim is scattered, your energy is diffused. But when your purpose is definite, your energy becomes focused, and focused energy pierces through resistance. You do not need to know every step of the journey. You only need to know the destination and begin walking toward it. A definite purpose activates a strange and powerful law. Unseen forces begin to arrange circumstances, people, and ideas in your favor. It is as if life respects a man who dares to be definite. Do not delay. Pick your purpose, declare it, write it, speak it, and commit yourself entirely. A man with a major purpose does not waste time. He does not chase trends or follow crowds. He wakes with intent and rests only when he has moved one step closer to his objective. Every book he reads, every conversation he entertains, every decision he makes, these are governed by whether they serve the purpose or hinder it. This kind of clarity is rare, and because it is rare, it is powerful. People feel it. They are drawn to it. They will want to help you, because deep inside, they admire someone who knows where he is going. Your purpose must become a part of your identity. It must guide your habits, your speech, your mindset. The man who defines his purpose and serves it daily becomes unstoppable, not because of luck, but because of loyalty to a mission greater than comfort. Do not confuse goals with purpose. A goal is a target you aim to reach, but purpose is the reason behind the aim. A man may reach a goal and feel empty if it was never tied to a deeper reason, but a man with a purpose finds satisfaction even in progress, because every small step feeds a larger mission. Your definite purpose should not be based solely on money, fame, or applause. These are results, not reasons. Ask yourself, what am I willing to endure for? What would I do even if no one clapped? What matters to me so much that I would refuse to quit, even when I am tired, mocked, or misunderstood? That answer is where your purpose begins. Define it and let it become your fuel. Once defined, your purpose must be reviewed daily. Write it down, read it aloud, burn it into your mind through repetition and belief. The subconscious mind works relentlessly on what is impressed upon it. If you feed it doubt, it will grow weeds. But if you feed it purpose, it will grow resolve. Let your purpose become the dominant thought of your mind. Think about it as you rise, as you walk, as you work. Let it shape your habits. Build a life structure around it. Do not keep your purpose hidden in a drawer. Live it, breathe it, embody it. The world does not reward vague wanderers. It rewards men who have made a decision and have the discipline to pursue it until it bows in their favor. Understand this: every man is given the opportunity to choose his purpose. Life does not choose it for you. You must seize it, decide it, and build your life around it. This power, the ability to choose your own mission, is the greatest privilege of mankind. Do not waste it. If you do not choose, others will choose for you, and they will not choose in your favor. Do not wait for the perfect time or the perfect clarity. Clarity comes through action. Start with what you know. Declare your purpose. Let it evolve as you do, but whatever you do, do not live without it. A man without a purpose is merely existing. A man with a purpose is alive in every sense of the word. Discipline is the bridge between your desire and its fulfillment. It is not gifted, it is forged. And it is forged in the daily fire of repeated effort. The man who masters discipline masters his world. He becomes immune to the fleeting impulses that distract the common man. While others are led by moods, he is led by mission. While others seek comfort, he seeks commitment. Discipline is not about denying yourself pleasure. It is about delaying it for something far greater. It is the art of doing what must be done, especially when you least feel like doing it. The world bows to the man who has trained himself to rise early, stay late, focus longer, and act without excuse. This is not brute force. It is intelligent repetition. It is the daily choice to obey your own higher commands. You must understand, every act of discipline builds a stronger version of yourself. Each time you resist the temptation to procrastinate, you strengthen your inner fortress. Each time you follow through on a promise to yourself, you reinforce self-respect. The undisciplined man is a slave. He is ruled by appetite, emotion, and outside influence. But the disciplined man is a king. He governs himself. He does not need external motivation, for his vision is enough. He moves with ardor, and that order compounds into confidence. Success is not achieved in bursts of brilliance, but in sustained effort, day after day, when no one is watching, when no reward is immediate. The reward is the man you become through the habit. It is not glamorous, but it is powerful. It is not quick, but it is permanent. You will not feel like being disciplined most days, and that is the point. Discipline begins when motivation ends. Anyone can act when they feel inspired. The test is when inspiration dies and all that remains is your decision. That is when character is built. Your emotions must become your servants, not your masters. If you wake and let your feelings dictate your actions, you will be inconsistent, erratic, and ultimately defeated. But if you rise, acknowledge your feelings, and act in alignment with your purpose regardless of them, you become dangerous, in the best sense of the word. A man like this is unshakable. He does not wait for the ideal moment. He creates it. He acts, refines, adjusts, but never retreats into laziness. Daily discipline is a declaration of self-control, and it is the foundation upon which greatness is built. Many believe discipline is restrictive, but in truth, it is liberating. The man who has not mastered himself is imprisoned by chaos, lost time, broken focus, unmet potential. The disciplined man, however, is free. He is free to create, free to progress, free to expand his influence, because his days are governed by intention, not impulse. Freedom is not the absence of responsibility, it is the reward of living responsibly. Discipline gives you more energy, more confidence, and more control. It turns your life into a masterpiece, crafted not by accident, but by design. Your routines become sacred rituals. Your habits become weapons. Your days become aligned with your deepest purpose, and each day you stack small victories, unseen by others but monumental in your development. There will be resistance. You will be tempted to skip, to delay, to justify. The path of discipline is narrow, and few walk it for long, but that is why it is valuable. Your mind will search for reasons to quit. You must override it with reasons to continue. Remind yourself daily that discipline today brings freedom tomorrow. Remind yourself that success does not respond to wishful thinking, but to consistent doing. You cannot build strength without strain. You cannot earn mastery without monotony. Do not look for excitement, look for results. The men who change history are not those who chased comfort, but those who embraced discipline when it was dull, tiring, and thankless. They did not need applause, they needed results. They did not seek validation, they sought victory. Make discipline a non-negotiable. Structure your day. Set your priorities the night before. Wake with resolve, not randomness. Guard your time as if it were gold, because it is. Eliminate distractions. Identify what matters most and do it first. Build systems. Create rituals that lock in your focus. Keep your word to yourself. Never make a promise to yourself lightly. Every broken promise weakens your integrity. Every kept promise strengthens it. The disciplined man does not rely on willpower alone. He builds environments that make his success inevitable. He does not need to be perfect. He needs to be consistent. If he falls, he gets back up. If he fails, he learns and refines. But he never allows laziness to become his identity. Understand this. The man who is disciplined daily becomes unstoppable over time. He does not just change his results, he changes his reality. Opportunities begin to find him. People begin to respect him. Challenges begin to fear him. Not because he is special, but because he is consistent. The average man drowns in emotion. The disciplined man swims through it. The average man breaks under pressure. The disciplined man is forged by it. He understands that every day is a vote cast for the man he is becoming. And so, he votes wisely. He rises early, he works with focus, he honors his commitments, and he executes when others hesitate. This is the power of daily discipline. It is not an option, it is the foundation of all lasting achievement. Your mind is the control center of your destiny. It is both a fortress and a battlefield. If you do not guard it with intensity, the world will infiltrate it with doubt, distraction, and deception. Everything you allow into your mind plants a seed. Every word, every image, every conversation. And make no mistake, those seeds grow. Some produce courage, others produce fear. Some bear fruit, others grow thorns. You must become the vigilant gatekeeper of your mental world. Do not allow poisonous thoughts to take root. Do not entertain conversations that belittle your potential. You cannot afford to let just anything walk through the door of your mind. What you permit, you promote. What you tolerate, you absorb. Guarding your mind is not paranoia, it is wisdom in action. A weak mind is shaped by its environment. A strong mind shapes its environment. If you are constantly consuming negativity, gossip, and chaos, do not be surprised when your inner world reflects it. You must curate your inputs with the same care a warrior selects his weapons. Surround yourself with words, books, people, and environments that feed your spirit, not drain it. Your thoughts determine your emotions. Your emotions shape your decisions, and your decisions determine your destiny. Therefore, the thoughts you allow are not casual. They are critical. You must identify the enemies of your peace. Comparison, fear, doubt, laziness, then destroy them through awareness and replacement. The mind must be managed like a garden. Left unattended, weeds take over. Attended daily, it becomes a sanctuary of strength. Guarding your mind means you take full ownership of your attention. You are not a victim of influence, you are its master. The average man scrolls endlessly, absorbs passively, and wonders why he feels lost. But the wise man filters every influence through the lens of purpose. Ask yourself, does this thought serve me? Does this voice empower me? Does this message align with who I am becoming? If the answer is no, reject it. Be ruthless with what you consume. Not everything that is loud deserves your attention. Not everything that is popular serves your mission. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because in truth, it does. The distracted mind is defeated long before the battle begins, but the focused mind, the guarded mind, is indomitable. You must also guard your mind from internal sabotage. The most dangerous thoughts are not the ones whispered by others, but the ones shouted by your own fear. You must learn to catch the lie before it becomes belief. Self-doubt will speak in your own voice. It will disguise itself as reason, but reason is not always truth. Truth is what aligns with your higher self, your vision, your purpose. Silence the inner critic by taking bold action. Starve the fear by feeding it faith. Train your mind daily as an athlete trains his body, through reading, through meditation, through visualization, through prayer. Whatever sharpens your inner sword, do it. Because when the mind is strong, circumstances become small. When the mind is weak, even small problems feel impossible. Association is another gate you must secure. Who you allow into your life directly affects what enters your mind. If you walk with complainers, you will become one. If you dine with doubters, you will begin to question your own path. But if you surround yourself with those who think big, act bold, and believe deeply, their mindset will rub off on you. Energy is contagious. Protect your mental circle with discernment. You cannot soar with those who are addicted to crawling. You cannot expand if you're entangled with those who fear growth. Do not apologize for distancing yourself from the average. You are not judging them, you are protecting your peace. Every conversation either deposits strength or steals it. Choose your company as if your future depends on it. It does. What you repeatedly think, you eventually become. This is not theory, it is law. The man who guards his mind becomes the architect of his destiny. He wakes each day and decides what he will allow and what he will reject. He does not allow past failures to live rent-free in his present mind. He does not dwell on limitations. He focuses on solutions. He writes his affirmations, visualizes his success, and speaks with conviction. His mental world is ordered, disciplined, and empowered. Because of that, his outer world slowly begins to mirror it. This is no accident. It is the compound effect of mental discipline. Most look for change in circumstance, but the wise know change begins within. Transform your thoughts, and you transform your life. The mind is your most sacred territory. Treat it with reverence. Do not give the keys to critics, cowards, or casual voices. Build mental walls around your vision. Install guards at the gate of your attention. Arm yourself with truth. Feed yourself with wisdom, and refuse to entertain anything beneath your calling. This is not just about feeling good. It is about becoming great. The man who guards his mind relentlessly walks through life with a power others cannot comprehend. He is calm in chaos, clear in confusion, and focused when others panic. He has trained himself to think, to choose. He does not drift, he dominates. And because he guards his mind, the world cannot shake him. That man is you, if you choose to be. Fear is the invisible chain that holds more men hostage than poverty or failure ever could. It whispers lies of inadequacy, rejection, and ruin. And yet, those who achieve greatness are not without fear. They have simply refused to obey it. Fear is not to be eliminated, it is to be conquered through action. The man who waits for fear to disappear will wait his entire life. But the man who acts despite trembling hands, racing thoughts, and pounding heart, that man gains power. Every time you move forward in the face of fear, you weaken its grip. It shrinks, not because it is gone, but because you grew stronger. Fear loses its voice when you stop listening and start moving. Most people imagine that courage is the absence of fear, but that is false. Courage is the decision to move forward while fear screams in your ear. It is forged in moments when your body wants to flee, but your spirit commands you to stay. You must understand that fear is nothing more than a suggestion. It is not a law. It does not have the authority to decide your future unless you hand it the pen. Fear thrives on hesitation. The longer you wait, the more it grows. Action suffocates fear. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds belief. Even if you stumble, you are farther along than the man paralyzed by doubt. You cannot think your way into confidence. You must act your way into it. You will never feel fully ready. The perfect moment is a myth, carefully crafted by fear to keep you idle. Those who win in life are those who move before the conditions are comfortable. They speak before the words are perfect. They launch before the plan is flawless. Because they understand that progress is not born in perfection, it is born in persistence. Fear disguises itself as logic, patience, and prudence. But do not be fooled. You know when fear is holding the leash. And in that moment, you must act. Not recklessly, but relentlessly. You must train yourself to take that first step, even when the outcome is uncertain. That is where character is built. That is where transformation begins. Fear cannot be outthought, only outfought. You must prove to yourself, through repeated exposure, that fear is a liar. Speak when your voice shakes. Show up when you feel small. Make the call, take the risk. Write the book. Start the business. Confront the issue. Every act of courage plants a seed of strength. Soon what once terrified you becomes familiar, and the unfamiliar no longer stops you. This is the evolution of the self. The man who was once timid becomes unshakable, not because fear left him, but because he learned to walk with it, and still win. That is the mark of mastery, not fear dominance. You can be afraid and powerful at the same time, but you cannot be afraid and passive, unless you choose defeat. Understand that most fear is imagined. It is not the reality that destroys dreams, but the anticipation of what could go wrong. The mind exaggerates, distorts, and manufactures false threats. You must challenge those illusions with questions. Ask, what am I really afraid of? What's the worst that could happen? Could I handle that? What will happen if I do nothing? Often, you'll find that inaction is more dangerous than any failure. Fear is loud, but it is not wise. It speaks in emotion, not in reason. You must return to your purpose, your vision, your mission. Let that become louder than fear. Let your reason for moving forward silence your excuses for standing still. Do not expect fear to vanish. Expect to outgrow it. As you expand your courage, you raise the standard of what no longer intimidates you. What once made you panic now becomes routine. The speech that once terrified you becomes a message that moves crowds. The challenge that once overwhelmed you becomes your new comfort zone. You must constantly stretch your threshold. That is the secret. Fear will follow you, but it will no longer lead you. Every level of growth has its own fear to face, and the man who grows is not the one who avoids it, but the one who welcomes it as a sign that he is expanding. Fear becomes a signal, not of danger, but of direction. It points you to the place where you must rise. Let fear be your teacher, not your master. When it shows up, do not retreat. Lean in. Ask what it is trying to teach you. Use it as fuel. Transmute its energy into action. Stand taller. Speak louder. Move faster. When you act in spite of fear, you declare to the universe that you are ready to become more. And life will respond. Doors will open. Confidence will grow. Strength will multiply. You will stop negotiating with your potential and begin commanding it. This is how legends are made, not by avoiding fear, but by defeating it daily. And so I say to you, do not fear fear. Use it, face it, and act, because the man who acts in spite of fear becomes the man who can change everything. The company you keep is the mirror of your future. You cannot soar with eagles if you spend your days scratching with chickens. Every conversation, every association either elevates or erodes your potential. You must choose your circle with surgical precision. Growth-minded people do not dwell in excuses. They speak in terms of vision, possibility, and execution. When you walk with them, their energy challenges your complacency. They push you, not because they doubt you, but because they see more in you. Association is not just friendship, it is alignment. When you align with those who are striving for more, your own limits are shattered. Their belief becomes contagious. Their focus becomes your standard. You begin to normalize greatness. If you spend your time with the stagnant, your ambition will wither. People who fear growth will mock it. They will call your discipline obsession and your dreams unrealistic, because it confronts their own lack of effort. But do not bend. Protect your purpose from the small-minded. Growth is uncomfortable. It exposes the laziness in others. And if you allow, they will project that discomfort onto you. They will try to tame your fire because they cannot handle its heat. You must not seek approval from those who refuse to grow. Their validation is cheap. Their judgment is flawed. You are not arrogant for wanting more. You are responsible for pursuing it. You owe it to yourself to walk with those who fan your flame, not those who fear it. Growth-minded people have a different frequency. They speak in action. They think in terms of results. They are not threatened by your success. They are inspired by it. In their presence, competition fades and collaboration rises. They challenge you with questions, not criticism. They push you not with envy, but with encouragement. These are the people who text you about progress, not gossip. They talk about goals, not people. They ask you what you're building, not what you're watching. When you find them, hold on tightly. They are rare, but they are powerful. They will accelerate your growth like nothing else. Together, you sharpen each other. You elevate each other. You become accountability partners in a world full of excuses and distractions. You must be intentional about who gets access to your mental and emotional energy. Friendship should not be based on history, but on alignment. Just because someone has been in your life a long time doesn't mean they deserve a seat at your table today. If their mindset contradicts your mission, you must create space. This is not cruelty, it is clarity. Loyalty to others must never outweigh loyalty to your own evolution. Growth requires separation. Not all connections are meant to last a lifetime. Some were only meant to teach you a lesson. Be grateful, then move forward. The future you are building cannot afford dead weight. You are not cutting people off. You are stepping into a higher vibration. Understand that you are influenced by the dominant voices around you. If those voices are constantly negative, fearful, or lazy, you will absorb that energy. You may not notice it at first, but it will manifest in your decisions. You'll second-guess your ambition. You'll downplay your talents. You'll shrink to fit into small conversations. This is the silent cost of poor association. But when you surround yourself with giants, your thinking expands. Your goals no longer feel outrageous. They feel necessary. Growth-minded people see your greatness before you do, and they hold you accountable to it. They won't let you settle. They won't let you explain away your dreams. They will remind you of who you are when you forget. Build a circle that speaks your future language. Surround yourself with those who invest in themselves. People who read, who build, who seek wisdom, who take action. Let iron sharpen iron. If you are the smartest, most driven, most disciplined person in your group, you are in the wrong group. Get uncomfortable. Seek rooms where you feel challenged. That is where transformation lives. Greatness is not achieved in isolation. It is forged in collaboration with the like-minded. Do not fear outgrowing people. Fear staying small to make others comfortable. The world is filled with talent wasted in toxic circles. Refuse to be one of them. Elevate your environment and your results will follow. To associate with growth-minded people is to make a declaration, I am serious about becoming all I am capable of being. It is not just about networking, it is about aligning with destiny. These people will speak life into you when you feel empty. They will see light in you when your path feels dark. They will remind you that your dreams are not too big. You've just been around people who think too small. Make it your mission to find, nurture, and grow with those who raise your standard. Because when you walk with those who refuse to settle, you begin to forget how to settle. And that, more than anything, will change the course of your life forever. Your words are not casual, they are creative forces. Every sentence you speak carries energy that either builds or breaks, advances or delays, heals or harms. You must never underestimate the power of your tongue. Speak aimlessly and you will drift aimlessly. Speak with purpose and your life will follow your direction. The man who speaks with intention commands respect, attracts opportunity, and shapes his destiny. Your words reveal your belief system. They are the evidence of your mindset. If you constantly speak of limitation, failure, or frustration, you are programming your subconscious for defeat. But if you speak of solutions, strength, and certainty, you train your mind to act with boldness. Purposeful speech becomes your first act of leadership. Most men talk to fill silence. Great men talk to create results. The difference lies in intention. Speak only when your words are aligned with your mission. Do not waste your breath on gossip, complaint, or distraction. Every time you engage in small talk that contradicts your vision, you dilute your power. Speaking with purpose means your words are tools, not toys. You don't talk just to be heard. You talk to build, to influence, to lead. Your communication must be clear, direct, and rooted in conviction. The man who knows what he stands for doesn't stutter when he speaks. He doesn't seek approval. He speaks from principle. And that clarity of speech commands a level of respect no title can offer. Powerful speech begins with powerful thought. The words you release are the byproduct of your inner world. If your thinking is shallow, your language will reflect it. If your thinking is focused and elevated, your speech will carry weight. This is why you must train your mind before you train your mouth. Read books that challenge you. Study ideas that expand you. Spend time in solitude, refining your vision and values. Then speak from that place of internal alignment. When your mind is clear, your message is sharp. And when your message is sharp, it pierces through noise and leaves an impression. Your words become more than sound. They become symbols of strength. And people respond not just to what you say, but to the power behind it. There is no room for weak language in a life of power. Eliminate phrases like, I think, I'm not sure, maybe one day. These are the vocabulary of doubt. You must speak with certainty, even when the path is unclear. This does not mean arrogance. It means authority. You are the author of your life. Speak like it. Use words that affirm, words that uplift, words that declare. When you say, I will, your subconscious begins searching for how. When you say, I can't, it stops trying altogether. Language is the software of the mind. Program yourself daily with powerful declarations. Speak your goals aloud, declare your standards, command your mind to rise, and it will begin to believe you. Repetition builds reality. You must also guard the environment of your words. Speak life into others. Speak truth into silence. Speak discipline over disorder. Your words can shift the atmosphere in any room if they are spoken from a place of alignment and purpose. Do not underestimate the power of encouragement. A single sentence from you can reignite someone's dream. A firm statement can break someone's fear, but only if it's spoken with sincerity and strength. Don't mumble your mission. Declare it. Don't apologize for your goals. Defend them. Your voice is a weapon, not a whisper. Learn to use it. The man who speaks with purpose doesn't just communicate. He catalyzes change. He leaves people better, not bitter, empowered, not confused. Speaking with purpose also means knowing when to remain silent. Power is not found in constant talking. It is found in controlled speech. The wisest men say the least, but when they speak, it carries force. Before you speak, ask, is this necessary? Is this truthful? Does this serve my purpose or someone else's growth? If not, hold your tongue. Silence is a form of strength. It builds discipline. It gives you time to think, to respond rather than react. And when you finally do speak, people lean in. Your words carry gravity because they are rare and real. This restraint separates the amateur from the master. Speak less, but say more. That is the hallmark of influence. In the end, your words create your world. Speak like a king building his kingdom. Speak like a leader directing his army. Let your voice become the soundtrack of your mission. Let it carry the weight of vision, the tone of conviction, and the echo of unshakable belief. When you speak with purpose and power, you influence hearts, shift minds, and call forth your future. The man who controls his tongue controls his destiny. Use your voice not just to describe your life, but to design it. And as you speak, so shall you become. Speak it until it becomes reality. Speak it until you no longer hope for it, you expect it. That is the voice of power. And that voice is yours, if you choose to use it. Knowledge is the foundation of all lasting success. Without it, effort becomes wasted motion. With it, even the smallest action becomes amplified. The man who feeds his mind daily sharpens his judgment, deepens his confidence, and expands his opportunities. Knowledge compounds like money, and the earlier you invest in it, the greater your return. Make learning a daily ritual, not a random event. Just as your body requires food, your mind demands fuel. You cannot expect to lead, innovate, or rise if your thinking remains stagnant. Wisdom is not inherited, it is earned through consistent study. The most powerful tool you'll ever possess is a well-fed mind, hungry for better questions and deeper understanding. The man who stops learning is the man who begins dying. His thinking rusts, his perspective narrows. He repeats old mistakes and becomes enslaved by outdated ideas. But the man who reads, listens, studies, and reflects expands with every sunrise. He becomes a force of clarity in a world clouded by noise. You must read beyond entertainment. Read to grow. Study not just facts, but principles. Learn from masters who have walked the path before you. Their lessons, earned through pain and experience, are gifts. Compress time and wisdom waiting to be absorbed. Why repeat mistakes when you can download decades of insight in days? Do not confuse information with knowledge. The world is drowning in data, but starving for wisdom. To truly invest in knowledge means to not only collect facts, but to comprehend and apply them. Read with a pen. Think critically. Extract the gold and discard the fluff. Reflect on what you've learned and ask, how does this apply to my goals? What can I do with this? Passive consumption will not change your life. Active, applied learning will. Turn insights into action. Let what you read shift how you think, and let how you think shift how you behave. True knowledge transforms. And transformation, not just accumulation, is the reward of real learning. Time is the currency of knowledge. You must buy back wasted hours and redirect them toward your growth. Replace idle scrolling with purposeful reading. Trade passive entertainment for intentional education. Every hour you invest in learning compounds into skill, strategy, and vision. While others chase distractions, you are building mental assets that no one can steal. A book can give you a blueprint, a podcast can spark a breakthrough, a mentor's lesson can save you years of trial. But only if you consistently show up. Growth is not found in occasional inspiration, it's built through daily mental deposits. Over time, this discipline will separate you from those who never made the effort. Make knowledge acquisition a non-negotiable standard. Create rituals around it. Begin your mornings with a chapter. End your evenings with reflection. Keep a notebook of insights. Revisit lessons often. Saturate your environment with sources of wisdom. Books on your desk, audios in your car, powerful minds in your circle. You must become a student of life, forever learning, forever evolving. The moment you believe you know enough is the moment you begin to decline. Humility is the gateway to true mastery. The wisest men are never the loudest. They are the most curious. They do not boast about what they know. They are too busy expanding it. Knowledge gives birth to confidence. When you know the rules, you play the game differently. When you understand the patterns of success, you begin to predict outcomes and make better decisions. Ignorance breeds hesitation, but knowledge, real, Practical, applied knowledge creates certainty. You don't wonder if you'll succeed. You build the mental scaffolding to make it inevitable. Each insight adds a layer of strength to your foundation. Each new skill becomes another weapon in your arsenal. And soon you no longer react to life, you direct it. This is not luck. This is the reward for showing up daily to the classroom of discipline. In the end, your level of knowledge will either elevate your destiny or limit your reach. No man rises beyond the level of his thinking, and thinking cannot evolve unless it is fed. The world will reward the man who knows what others ignore, who sees what others miss, and who executes what others only imagine. This edge is earned, not gifted. You must study while others sleep, learn while others waste time, prepare while others make excuses. Invest in knowledge daily, and your mind will become a magnet for solutions, ideas, and results. And as your knowledge grows, so will your influence, your income, and your impact. Let learning become your lifestyle, and the world will eventually learn your name. Resistance is the gatekeeper of every worthwhile pursuit. It shows up not to stop you, but to test you. It asks, how bad do you want it? And only those with unshakable persistence ever answer correctly. The weak interpret resistance as a sign to quit. The committed recognize it as confirmation they're on the right path. Anything worth building will push back. You'll face delays, setbacks, rejection, fatigue, but none of it is a sign to retreat. It is proof of the weight and value of your vision. Diamonds are formed under pressure, not comfort. So when resistance shows up, don't flinch. Lean in. You were made for this. Those who fail are often not defeated by failure, but by the belief that failure is final. They hit a wall and turn around, never realizing the wall was just a doorway in disguise. Persistence means trying again when you're tired, rising again when you've been knocked down, showing up when no one's watching. It means committing long after the excitement has faded. You will not always feel motivated, but you can always choose to be disciplined. Motivation is emotion, persistence is character, and it is character, not comfort, that separates the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the finishers. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is intelligent, adaptable effort. It is learning from mistakes, adjusting strategies, and pressing forward with renewed strength. You don't keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. You evolve your approach while refusing to abandon your mission. The man who persists is not blind to obstacles. He is simply not owned by them. He understands that every problem contains a lesson, and every lesson strengthens his foundation. His determination becomes a force so strong that even setbacks begin to bend to his will. This is not luck. This is the compound effect of relentless effort over time. Every great achievement was once impossible until someone refused to quit. Every breakthrough was born from the ashes of repeated failure. You must understand, the universe will not hand you your dream without first requiring your transformation. And that transformation happens in the fire of resistance. It happens when you feel alone, when nothing works, when doubt whispers loud but you move anyway. That's where greatness is born, not in applause, but in persistence, not in ease, but in endurance. You must be willing to outlast the storm. Success often goes not to the most talented, but to the most persistent. You'll be tempted to quit. You'll question whether it's worth it. That's natural. But in those moments, you must remember why you started. Purpose is the fuel of persistence. If your reason is strong enough, no excuse can hold you. Write your vision. Read it daily. Let it become so real in your mind that quitting feels like betrayal. Because it is. Betrayal of your potential. Betrayal of those who believe in you. Betrayal of the future you were born to live. You must develop emotional endurance, the ability to keep walking when your feet ache, to keep building when no one claps, to keep believing when results seem invisible. Persistence creates separation. Most people dabble. They try once, fail, and retreat. But those who persist build momentum. Each act of perseverance strengthens their identity. They no longer just want success. They become the kind of person who cannot be denied. And soon, the world responds. Doors begin to open. Opportunities multiply. People take notice. But make no mistake, this is not sudden. It is the visible fruit of invisible grind. It is the result of showing up, day after day, especially when it was hardest. You must earn the right to succeed through relentless continuation. That is the price. That is the proof. In the final measure, persistence is your most powerful weapon. It is the quiet force behind every triumph, the uncelebrated hero of every legacy. Talent may start the race, but only persistence sees the finish line. If you persist long enough, resistance weakens, obstacles crumble, doors unlock, the world bends to the will of the man who refuses to fold. So whatever you're building, whatever you're chasing, don't stop, don't slow down, don't second guess your fire. Keep striking, keep moving, because the man who persists is the man who prevails. And your victory is already written if you refuse to surrender the pen.